I'm George McLean, and my show here at the gallery is called The Living Landscape. A fellow I went to art school with did a portrait in Casein, and I really liked it. And he didn't like it, and he'd bought a whole set of this Casein paint, so he opted to give me the set, so I happily accepted them and worked in Casein for most of my professional life after that. But in Canada right now, to the best of my knowledge, you can't buy Casein anymore. It was never a very popular medium. There were not many professionals used it. And finally, the quality of it, the company that originally made it was in Kentucky, and they sold out, has been sold and resold. So that the quality of the paint actually, in my experience, wasn't the same. So when I started to go to art school, I made up my mind that pretty quick, I'd have been maybe 15 years old, I decided I was going to paint nothing but animals for the rest of my life. I find inspiration when I look at any animal. I like the predator-prey pictures best. They're the ones that are the most difficult to do. They're the ones that are the most challenging in terms of scale and lighting and all sorts of things. You know, the background, how do you portray these things? When you make them complex that way, you've got to work around a landscape as well. We moved into Grey County, Ontario, back when I was a young guy. We've been there almost 43 years now. I was always a great exercise freak. I mean, I always liked to work out, and I used to run a few miles, and there was never a day that I didn't get back into the bush and as part of my exercise routine, but also as part of my field work. You know, the trout streams that are around there, the hills and the hardwood forests. I remember these massive maple trees and these huge beech trees that grew in Grey County. I've walked that country 12 months a year, and in the wintertime, I've walked thousands and thousands of miles on snowshoes. So I've learned all there is to know about that countryside in all weather and all light. I've walked it at night, it'd be as black as a pitch, but some nights, you know, there's so much moonlight, you'd be able to read a magazine out there, and you see these great long shadows. I started more and more painting the stuff that I was used to seeing, and certainly in the landscape that I was used to seeing it in. And it was sort of insidious. I didn't set out to do it, but it's just what I do. I'm a regionalist painter, really. There's no getting around it. Most of the paintings in the show are of Grey County. This is the only place I ever really could call a home, where I knew it was my place. The landscape, to this day, when I go out every single day, doesn't matter what the weather is. It'll be pouring rain or blowing a blizzard, I still go out. Other days it'll be maybe foggy, it might be a windy day, maybe a tree has fallen down, something like that. But I find all that so incredibly interesting. I paint these pictures simply because I don't know how to say it better than I can in the paintings. That's exactly why I make the paintings.